Hey, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Let's Talk Anything podcast. I am your host, Matthew Silent Mix, and today's topics, oh boy, it's going to be a doozy one here, people. We're going to talk about what could possibly be the worst show of the year in WWE, and that is me and my buddy Tony here giving our review of WWE Super Showdown from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, that happened this past Thursday on the WWE Network. And then we're going to end things off with AEW Revolution predictions. So that's going to be the ending topic for that. But I mentioned his name. I'll say it again. Here at this time, he is none other than the co host, Mr. Tony Trinity. How are we doing today, Tony?
First things first. Hey,
Hey,
bro.
bro.
Figure that would be a good way to start things off with this.
Yeah. Boy. This is probably going to be a rant for the most part, maybe, but I want to say something really quick. Yesterday, I had the guys over and we had a Patillo's night, as a matter of fact. Me and the guys did. And funny enough, one of my buddies said that I actually look like a little bit of Matt Riddle with the long hair.
But there's only one problem.
One smokes weed and the other one doesn't.
Again, one problem.
And that is,
You don't talk like Matt Riddle.
yeah, I know I don't. I don't got that faded voice of his.
Bro.
Yep. Oh boy. But yes, so we're gonna kick things off with the Super Showdown from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, that happened yesterday. As of this recording, the show aired on February 27th, 2020, and boy, this freaking show, I it was, oh my god, we'll get into this starting right now, as a matter of fact. So
Hold on. First things first. Sorry, guys, for the delay because we said that we're supposed to do it yesterday, but unforeseen circumstances happened, to which we had to postpone it to tonight. So, therefore, thusly, we're doing this now.
yes, which it's still fresh in my mind from everything that happened. Oh boy, is it still fresh in my mind. But let's just get through this kind of quick. Maybe we'll see.
What? Firstly squeeze orange juice, Orange Cassidy.
Yes, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. You know what? I could have had Orange Cassidy stand in the middle of the ring with his hands in his pockets for the 3 hours of this show, and that would have been enough of my enjoyment right there. But the people of Rehab probably would not have had a freaking idea what the hell he was doing. But I
How do you
digress.
figure? How do you figure? He looks like a statue. He looks like the freaking guy from the the what's that trophy called? The Twin God
Oh yeah,
trophy.
the two. I think it's pronounced Tuwag. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Bubble fucking mouth terms.
Yeah, exactly. So we had one match on the pre-show. That was the OC versus the Viking Raiders. What did you thought?
Not bad. Not bad of a pre-show matchup.
Basic match. Nothing too much was going on in this match. One thing I've kind of noticed is they used to protect the Viking Raiders, and now it's almost like they don't really care for the Viking Raiders that much anymore. And the OC,
Well, can I tell you something?
what's that?
They didn't have to protect the Viking Raiders tonight, or or whenever this happened. Kind of, we predicted of who truly was supposed to win, even though your team lost. But I digress. But it was a prediction that I predicted that was going to be true. That the OC was supposed to win since they won last year. That tag team turmoil
Yeah, that
championship thing.
shenanigan.
that's the only reason why they won instead of the Viking Raiders. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and I mean the OC, like, I don't know, like, I just feel like they're damaged goods at this point.
They've been damaged goods since
For
they've been in WWE.
no, I mean, I remember them being actually good when they were with AJ the first time in 2016, and then since that split, they were never the same again.
Well, let's just say they were doctors. There were more doctors. There were more doctors. There were more doctors. There were
Yeah,
more doctors.
yeah, doctors all over the place.
Doctors have foot up their ass.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, basic match, nothing much happened. I give it a 2.25.
I also give it a two and a quarter. Maybe if I'm in a good mood, 2.5. That's it.
And then, of course, the main show began, kicking off with the Tuwag Gauntlet match. It was AJ Styles, Andrade, Bobby Lashley, Eric Rowan, R-Truth, and supposedly Rey Mysterio, which would
Rey Mysterio. We'll go with that. We'll
yeah,
go with that for
yeah.
this particular purposes only.
So
it was the 6 competitors.
yes, in this Gauntlet match. So the match kicked off with Lashley and R-Truth. Not much was going on. I mean, I kind of feel like R-Truth was kind of getting like the comedy spot treatment. Like he was kind of getting like these fluky wins, or it just kind of happened out of nowhere.
Well, you gotta expect 24/7 champion. Every single thing that he does has to be a comedy act now.
True, exactly. I mean, overall as a whole, I don't know. Like I thought it was okay, but nothing really great. I mean, I thought AJ was like the star of the show. He has a smile on his face, and
but, but even he was doing R-Truth mimicking kind of style.
Yeah, he was out there. He was dancing. I actually had
he
a
was
belly.
dancing. He was dancing like as if he was playing Fortnite.
Oh God, yep. I actually had a belly laugh at that
one. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
And plus, he was supposed to do the floss apparently, but evidently, stupid WWE pictures, they don't do that shit.
No, they don't. So AJ pins R-Truth, so Truth's eliminated, so he's ready for Rey Mysterio while the OC is beating down Rey Mysterio. And AJ has a smile on his face and he's saying, "Hey, if he can't go, start counting down, or then I'm the winner." So the ref starts counting down, and all of a sudden we see
first he says, "I'm the winner. I'm the winner. I'm the winner." He's forfeited. I'm the winner. I'm the winner. Evidently the refs and the announcers, well, not the announcers, but the ring bell guy agreed that if this guy does not come out here in 10 seconds, you are the winner.
Yeah.
That's basically how it went.
And then, of course, we see the OC getting beat down by whom? When we see a guy in a black trench coat, which obviously was a sign of the Undertaker.
It could have been Sting because they're predicting him as well was supposed to return at the Saudi Arabia show as well. There's talks about him returning as well.
I mean, they could have swerved. Yeah, there could have been a nice swerve with that. And then freaking okay, so this is the ridiculous part, but kind of funny at the same time. So the Undertaker gets in the ring. AJ's mouthing off. He's tapping on Taker's chest, and Taker goes for a choke slam, almost loses him in mid-flight. Kind of looked botched in a way, and he choke slams him. Puts the two hands over the chest, and he's doing this with a hat on and his jacket on.
Felt hat and trench coat. Get it correct. Yeah. You are supposed to be the host. Get these things correct. Don't make me go JBL, what's that, Corey Graves on your ass.
So yeah, coat, hat, and all. Just I mean, he didn't even take it off. He did not take it off, and it was one choke
I,
slam.
I mean, did you find it to be comical?
I mean, I found it to be comical. It was just like choke slam, put the two hands over the chest, and that was it. And freaking Undertaker, as he's leaving, he's looking at the big trophy, and he was probably staring at that thing like, to hell, I'm not taking this trophy with me.
He was saying, "Fuck this trophy. I ain't taking this down."
I don't blame him. I don't blame him one single bit.
I mean, if he went anti-kayfabe with that shit, he could have.
Yeah, true, exactly. And the one other thing was I felt this Gauntlet match was a little too long. 32 minutes in grand total. That's from the start through the Undertaker entrance and then obviously the end. They could have shaved off maybe a good 5 minutes, 6 minutes of this match. I don't
You know
think
how they could have. You know how they could have done that?
how
Eliminate the comedy act from our truth. That's how.
yeah, they could have definitely had done that, absolutely.
But we gotta have our truth being the comedy act of this whole ordeal.
Yeah, and plus I think they were doing this to promote that 24/7 documentary of Truth.
No, yeah, that's another thing.
I did hear that was really good, so that might be something I may have to check out whenever I can. But
Right?
okay match, a little bit too long. 2.5. I can't go any higher.
For being too long, 2.25. But if I was in generous mood, then 2.5.
Up next, it was The Miz and John Morrison versus The New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. What did you thought?
Predictable.
Predictable, yes, but I actually thought this. I think arguably this. I think this was the match of the evening, even though that's not saying much. I thought it was good. Nothing really too wrong with it. The one crazy spot though that even had me going, holy shit. It's the spot where it's the trust dive spot where Kofi just like launches himself onto a pile of dudes. Instead, he launches himself onto the Miz, and the Miz sidesteps, and Kofi crashes hard right on his back. That looked like it sucked. It was very scary, but stupid at the same time.
That was totally insane. Kofi Kingston does crazy shit, and sometimes he wins, sometimes he loses. This time he lost.
Yeah, which like I guess well, I shouldn't say I guess it does make sense, for the Miz to sidestep and not just stand there and take the fall. So in a way, like I guess I can kind of respect the fact that they put a little realism in there because, like I said, you're not gonna stand for somebody if they're gonna come launching at you. If it's the opponent, you're gonna sidestep away.
No
So
shit.
towards the end, Kofi gets a roll up. He's trying to get the 3. He gets pushed off, gets nailed in the chair with Morrison nails him with the chair, and Miz picks up the win for the team. And after 11 years, the Miz and Morrison are tag team champions yet again.
What was their nicknames?
The Dirt Sheet.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so
Those
11
Dirt Sheet are
Yep.
Dirt Sheet back and better than ever, babies.
Yep. 11 years. That's a little hard to believe that 11 years. That's back in 2009.
Well, you gotta picture this. John Morrison used to be called Johnny Nitro
Yep.
in Impact Wrestling.
Yep.
That's the only reason why it took them 11 long years to come back to this again.
Yeah. But I mean, he still looks
Otherwise,
good, especially for his age.
well, no shit. Look at AJ Styles. For
Yeah.
a person his age, he's doing pretty good. Look at The Undertaker, as old as he is, he's looking pretty good. Look at Goldberg. for being a guy his age, he's doing pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, as long as they stay in shape, I mean, that's all that counts for them. Although
Or
they're
even, or even better yet, look at Edge
yeah,
with with great facial hair, looking as old as that ever, but he still looks pretty freaking fit.
yeah. He had that good performance at the Rumble. I mean, yeah, it did look like he lost a couple steps, but I thought he was fine overall.
Well, that's what happens when you're out of the loop for how many years?
9 years,
They're
but
not wrong.
but I give it a solid 3. Like I said, I thought this was the match of the evening, surprisingly.
Also, three, maybe three and a quarter.
Up next, it was Angel Garza versus Humberto Carrillo. What did you thought?
Bullshit finish. Bullshit finish.
You know what's really sad? The people in the crowd did not care. They were quiet.
Well, do you blame them?
I mean, maybe they don't recognize them, which I guess I can understand that. Like, I thought the work was actually fine. I didn't find anything wrong with the match, in all honesty. But to me, it was a Raw TV match. That's the best way I can describe this match. It was a Raw TV match.
Well, the first half of the match wasn't too bad. The tail end of the frickin' match with the roll ups like nobody's business sucked. No offense, it sucked.
Yeah, I thought there was a little bit too many roll ups towards the end there. And Garza didn't finish him with the wing clipper. Instead, it was a roll up, which I guess in a way it's a little bit better for Carrillo because then he's not losing to a finisher. But once again, he keeps losing, and the more you lose, the more that people don't care about you.
Well, he's not going to lose all that much. I guess he's going to get his redemption at WrestleMania, is my guess. Especially that now they could bring in Zelina Vega to the ring with Angel Garza, to which, if you've noticed, during the entrances for both Andrade Cien Almas and Angel Garza, you saw no Zelina Vega.
No, I guess she was not at the show at all.
So how was she not at the show, but the likes of Lana that came out for Lashley just to wish him good luck kind of deal, and then you had the two women at the end of the show. How can you not add Zelina Vega?
Unless she's on that list of she refuses to go.
Oh, you know why she can't go? Because if her husband can't go, she won't go.
Yeah, yeah. With Aleister Black's uh, Medusa. I don't know if it's a devil or a Medusa tattoo on his back.
Female devil.
Okay.
Because if it was Medusa, then it would have had snake hair.
Right. Yeah. The snake hair. But no. Back on topic. So yeah, I thought the work was fine, but the people didn't really care at all for this match. 2.25, maybe 2.5.
You know what? If it wasn't due to the fans not caring, if they did care, then it'll be like 2.5, 2 3/4. Because that match was a 2 3/4 type matchup, despite the ending.
Yeah, true. Up next, it was Seth Rollins and Murphy versus the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team Championship. What did you thought?
That was an alright matchup between the two teams.
Yeah, I mean it was a good match. Didn't go as long as the SmackDown one did, but I thought it was enjoyable nonetheless. And in the end, Murphy and Rollins win, which was the right call to make because I don't think it would not made any sense for the Street Profits to have won it. But
The only complication if the Street Profits did win, then it'll be finally AOP's turn.
yeah, true.
That's the only consultation, because what has the OP or AOP done lately? They haven't even won a tag team titles.
No. They've just been the bodyguards of Rollins and Murphy.
That's bullshit shit.
But I give this match a 2 3/4.
2 3/4, nothing higher.
Up next, it was Dolph Ziggler versus the hometown boy Mansoor. What did you thought?
Decent matchup. I think that some bitch should be called up to either NXT or Raw or SmackDown. Nothing to do with his home country, and let's see how well he does.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they do this where they dust him off of these Saudi Arabia shows. I have no idea what that's all about. But decent match. I mean,
because they're treating him like as if this is the NXT UK.
yeah, I think that's pretty much what it is. But no, it was a decent match. I thought both competitors looked pretty good. One spot I really liked was it was the it was on the top turn. It was the turnbuckle spot where he was going for it looked like he was going for a sliced bread, and then he somehow turned it into a DDT.
DDT.
And
You're right.
And he spiked Ziggler right on his head, and he sold it like death almost.
Didn't Ziggler have like a bloody mouth after the fact or some shit?
I don't remember the bloody mouth spot. However, there was a sort of a scary spot, and that was at the end of the match where Mansoor did the moonsault to finish the match, but his knees landed right on Ziggler's chest. It kind of looked like it landed on his shoulder because that is the same spot that happened to Bob Holly or Hardcore Holly many years ago, where he was laying down. I forgot who he was facing, but the guy did a moonsault and he kind of came a little short. So besides being body on body, it was knees to the arm, and it actually broke Bob Holly's arm. So I think.
So is that why Bob Holly retired?
No. He would still be with the company up till like 08. But I know when that happened, he wasn't featured in a lot of marquee matches. That much I know.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Billy Kidman, because he's usually the one that does the shooting star press kind of shit.
Yeah, he was the shooting star press guy. But no, I mean, fortunately, I mean, Ziggler looked fine. Nothing didn't look broken. Mansoor picked up the win, which was no surprise. And then he cut a speech to the Riyadh people. And I don't know about you, but I kind of noticed something with this. Like when Mansoor came out, I mean, yeah, he got a big reaction. I mean, it's his home country. That's cool and all. But I kind of felt like during the speech, not a lot of people were not like overjoyed by his speech. It was almost like they were getting the idea of, okay, this guy's only going to be dust off with these shows, but nothing else. It's almost like they're kind of catching on to how they're using him.
And I think a few of the people in the crowd were booing him, actually.
I did not hear boos. I mean, I could be wrong though, but
it was faint, but it was there.
Okay, like I remember when he won the 50-man battle royal. What was it, last year? I think it was. That place just exploded when he won, and it was just that great feel good moment. And with this one, I mean, it was a feel good moment, but it just did not feel right.
Yeah, I noticed.
But
him as a singles competitor, no. maybe as in a gauntlet battle Royal Rumble type shit, then he would have been better off.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that one. Um, 2.25. That's all I can give it.
Yeah, 2.25, maybe 2 on the dot.
Oh boy, this match. Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet for the WWE Championship. First of all, before we get into this match that only went a minute and 30 seconds. Well, actually, minute and 28 seconds. To be
What? Did
exact.
you clock it?
I actually legit clocked it. I clocked it at a minute and 28 seconds.
Well, let's see what Wikipedia says, but continue.
But no, this is the funny part. So the video package. I want to talk about something about the video package. Now, I thought it was fine. I didn't really see nothing wrong with it. But the funny the funniest thing was it comes to the point to where Ricochet is saying like nobody thinks I can't do it. Nobody thinks that I'm not going to beat the beast. Well, guess what? I'm going to change WrestleMania and it's going to be me against Drew McIntyre and they Photoshop Ricochet with the WWE Championship for the WrestleMania card. It was there for like maybe a good 3 seconds, but I saw that and I just started laughing. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
You're not wrong.
I just started laughing. I'm like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. This is the legit greatest thing ever. But then we get to the match. And I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting, like, this is what I was expecting. I was expecting Brock to, be dominant, Ricochet to make a comeback. He's putting in some offense, but in the end, he fails, he loses. I was not expecting Brock to make Ricochet look like a jabron.
Well, you gotta expect if the first matchup didn't last as long as if it was a little shorter, then this match would have been a little bit longer for sure.
Yeah,
But it was because it was the first match that did the whole show in kind of deal.
exactly. But no, I mean, I thought Ricochet sold the Germans pretty well. Like he legit bounced off like after Brock gave him the Germans, and then
I think it was like
freaking
about 4 of them.
yeah, I think it was like 4, and then freaking Ricochet bounced what looked like 100 feet in the air after the F5. Like he got a good bounce off of that. I'll give credit where credit is due, and Brock just straight up beats him in dominant fashion.
Which is quite crazy if you do say so myself.
And this is sad because when Ricochet popped onto the NXT scene, I was excited. I was happy. He killed it in NXT. He killed it with guys like Johnny Gargano. And I thought, okay, maybe they can do no wrong with this guy. And boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong.
Can I tell you something about Ricochet?
What's that?
He's the kind of guy that should go back down to NXT at least for a couple years.
Oh, he be thanking the heavens above if that happened.
Because he needs to work on his game, if you will, before he comes back.
I prefer just keep him down in NXT permanently if you could.
I mean, he has potential to being on a Raw or SmackDown, but not of the caliber that he's been putting through. In other words, Vince McMahon is screwing him like he screwed EC3.
Yeah, oh boy, yeah, EC3, boy, that guy's another story.
Yeah, the guy that they're trying to recruit for AEW.
Yeah. But yeah, this match, nothing to be said. Just a dominant performance by Brock that lasted a minute and 28 seconds.
Minute 30 according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, or minute and 30 according to Wikipedia here. If you round it up. A star. That's about it.
Can I go worse than you?
Sure.
Half superstar.
Fair enough. Now this is another funny thing that happened here. So after that match happened, I was kind of like, all right, here we go with the women's match. All right, well, we're kind of progressing onward here. And boy, did I forget about this match. Roman Reigns
Roman versus
versus
Baron Corbin.
King Corbin in the steel cage match. I completely forgot about this match. And when I saw the graphic on the screen, I'm like, oh God, please no. I was like Marty McFly in Back to the Future 2, where it's the part where the future is his current present day is screwed up because of what happened in the future, and he looks at his gravesite, or he looks at a gravesite of his father dead, and he's just saying, no, oh please God, no. That was my exact reaction. i had
Well,
a i had a Marty McFly moment.
well, let's just say for me, for this particular match, I also too forgot about this match. Like, I had to count on my fingers, like, how many matches do I have left? Because remember, I was late in watching it, and I had
Right.
to calculate uh, how many matches we have and had, and add it all up. And I was like, I'm missing a match somewhere in my mind, and uh, did I have like a CRS moment? Can't remember shit moment. Uh, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But for this particular matchup, it wasn't too bad. At least it finalized the feud between the two. Thank God.
Yes, well, we saw that on SmackDown tonight, which I'll say this really quick. Well, let's get to the review first. You know what? I didn't really thought this match was all that great. In all honesty, I really didn't thought. I thought it was pretty much a bore for the most part. Um, there's really not much I could say. I'm just thankful this feud is finally done. That is the one positive thing I can say about this match, is that this is finally done. Although it should have been done at the Royal Rumble, but I digress.
So when is he going to drop the whole King Corbin name and go back to the Baron Corbin title?
One would think hopefully soon, but it seems like WWE likes to do long-term booking here.
Well, how long do they do that for the King Booker?
That was like until he had left the company. So I think it was like a year.
So what, are we going to see a Baron Corbin leave and come back kind of deal?
Maybe, who knows? But like I said, nothing much. And then I didn't like the finish, how he Superman punches him with the chain wrapped around his fist for the win. I don't know. I didn't really
I
like that
I
finish.
I didn't mind it because I knew when he brought in the chain, it was either one of two things going to happen. One, he's going to lock the cage, which he did, or two, he's going to use it as a weapon if somehow or another it got out of the door area. Like, it either was going to whip Corbin's ass with it, or use it as a Superman punch, or even lock him up somehow. Like, I didn't know what he was going to do with that.
Yeah, but like I said, the one good thing is that this feud's finally done. We're moving to something different. I give it a star and a half.
I'll be very generous due to the fact that it's done and over with. I'm giving this a 2. I'm a dot.
All right, cool enough. Up next, the second only women's match in Saudi Arabia, and that was Bailey defending her title against Naomi. What did you thought?
It may be the second, but it's the very first women titles match in Saudi Arabia history. Remember?
Yep.
Last year wasn't for the title, this year was.
Yeah.
A little not bad in the beginning, but the ending was the one that says, what the fuck just happened here?
Yeah, this match not really great. Like I said, maybe the first few moments was fine, but it just felt like they were kind of going in slow motion for some reason, or maybe they were kind of off cue. I don't know what was going on. The one thing
I think I think the only reason why they're a little off cue, or not a little, a lot off cue, is because they're not used to wearing that spandexy outfit. On top, they had to wear T-shirts.
yes.
Usually, they're like showing more skin, especially Bailey. If Bailey did not wear that outfit, guess what? She would have been faster than she was.
Yeah, true. And I mean, they said that it was like mid 60s or low 60s in Saudi Arabia. So,
Which is a shocker since before it was like in the 70s or the 80s.
well, the last show was like 100 degrees almost.
And then they were probably sweating balls, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The one spot that I will give credit here is where Bailey had put one of Naomi's feet behind her back, but put the shirt over it. I thought that was a clever spot right there. And then she hit her finisher right there and then rolled her over, and
It kind of looked like a side stomp.
kinda, yeah. Uh, it didn't really look great. I will say that much. And then she rolled her over
At,
and got the
at
win.
least at least Seth does it better.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
offense.
exactly. But yeah, not a great match. Nothing really much to see. I'd give it a star and a half again.
Star and a half for this one. Yeah, I agree.
And then finally, oh boy, oh boy, here we go. The main event. And I know that I am probably one of the millions who are not happy about this. And that is Bray Wyatt as the Fiend versus Bill Goldberg for the Universal Championship. What did you thought?
Crazy as all fuck, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
So,
But but I had a funny hunch. I knew it was going to be Bill to win. You know why?
why?
Because they already announced it a week in advance that they are changing the main event for WrestleMania. For, what was it, 6 months? They were predicting that it was supposed to be John Cena versus Roman Reigns. And then about 2 months after that, then they changed it to Roman Reigns versus The Fiend. Then 2 months later was supposed to be Roman versus Bill Goldberg. And then now they're doing the John Cena versus The Fiend at WrestleMania. Do you think it was time for John Cena to be the 17-time champion this year or not?
Well, hold that question right there for a second because I'm going to come back to that. I want to talk about this match. So, starts off with a spear right out of the gates, practically. And
Like how he did with SmackDown.
yep, and the Fiend kicks out. And Goldberg goes
And
for
puts him into a mandible
yeah.
claw.
And at that moment there, I thought, okay, they're going to do the right move. They're going to do the right move here. Goldberg's going to lose. He's going to pass out. He's going to pass out. He's going to make the Fiend look good. No, Goldberg fights out. Hits him with a spear. He gets ready for another one. Hits another spear. And by the fourth spear, I was like, okay, he's gonna counter it into the mandible claw. Hits him with the fourth spear. And I'm like, okay, puts him back in the mandible claw. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is the time now. Goldberg breaks free. I think he hit another spear. I don't know if there was 4 or 5 spears. I didn't count how many.
Four spears, kicking stomach about 3 times or 4 times, then puts him into a jackhammer.
Right. Right. I remember the knees to the stomach. I remember that. And then yeah, he goes for the jackhammer. And
a very poorly executed jackhammer, if I might add.
very poor. And even though Bray lost a lot of weight, which is a good thing, I mean, I'm happy for him, but he's still a big boy. Still a big boy. And it just looked like a regular suplex almost. And Goldberg pins
Yeah,
him.
you're right. You're right.
And Goldberg pins him 1, 2, 3. My first words out of my mouth was, what? And unfreaking believable. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe they actually did it. The Fiend's
Well,
first loss is to Bill Goldberg
a
when
legend,
when
a Hall of Famer.
yeah, when I could have been fine with, maybe somebody like Roman Reigns or Aleister Black, but instead they did Goldberg. And then in the post match, Goldberg, he's celebrating. Fiend gets right up. It looks like he's about to attack Goldberg, and lights go out, lights come back on, and he's gone, and the show ends like that. And I
Well, I think the only reason why they picked Bill Goldberg is for a second reason. Do you know what the second reason is?
the Roman Reigns.
No. Do you know what the true second reasoning behind it is?
What?
Bill Goldberg versus The Undertaker, to where Bill Goldberg passed out. Pretty much.
I mean, whether it's true or not, but so yeah, oh my god. If the Fiend wasn't already killed after that debacle at Hell in a Cell, I honestly, I don't know what the hell Bray has done, what he did, but I feel like now, I feel like I can't get behind the Fiend anymore because of what happened. I mean, this match, I'm sorry,
Uh,
this match gets a star, at least a star and a quarter.
can I go worse?
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? I guess I'll change my vote. You know what? The Fiend should have won. This match should probably get at least a half a star.
There you go.
Yeah, thank
I,
you.
I convinced
But
you, and yes, I do agree. Both the Beast and the icon, the legend of that Bill Goldberg, both had the half a star, and it's for the biggest title of their division.
I clocked in at 2 minutes and 58 seconds, or 3 minutes if you want to round it up.
It was 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well. The way I do with Time Attack is, as soon as the bell rings, and as soon as the bell rings to end the match, that's when I stop it. I stopped it at 2 minutes and 58 seconds. So once again, round it up to 3 minutes.
It was a bullshit match.
It
Same thing with
was.
Brock.
And I want to go back to your Cena comment for a second. So I'm not going to get into SmackDown that much, but here I want you to mention the key points here. So we're getting Goldberg against Roman Reigns, the Battle of the Spears, and which is shocking because I thought we were going to have a men's singles elimination chamber match, which it looks like we are not going to have. Instead, we're going to have a tag team elimination chamber match, and we have John Cena versus The Fiend, which I face palmed when they announced that. And I'll tell you why. They could have done title number 17 versus Redemption. John Cena, the man, going for number 17 versus The Fiend, the champion, if he was champion. The champion, but the guy who's seeking redemption for the loss at WrestleMania 30. The story speaks for itself. Title versus redemption. And I mean, yeah, it's still redemption, but I feel like the title would have added a lot more to the match. It would have added more hype, more anticipation, probably more drama on top of that.
I don't think that they're ready to put the strap on John Cena, especially not showing up at all last year. Did you notice that he was gone for a full year?
Yeah, he was gone for a full year.
They're not ready to put the straps on him just yet.
No, but once again, you could have done title versus redemption, like I just told the story already, and the Fiend goes over. Now, I will say this right now: I think the Fiend should win, but he's the reverse Undertaker. It wouldn't surprise me if Cena won, but there's no reason for Cena to win. So you almost have to think it's an easy win for the Fiend. But then again,
Who put it to you this way: if the Fiend wins against John Cena, the 16-time world champion, and let's just say whoever wins between the Bill Goldberg versus Roman Reigns matchup, which path do you think that they should do? Bill Goldberg versus The Fiend 2 at SummerSlam, or Roman Reigns versus The Fiend at SummerSlam?
I prefer Roman against the Fiend.
And who do you think is going to win?
Oh, well, logically speaking, it should be the Fiend, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was Roman. Let me say something here. In our main event tonight, we're gonna end this off on a good note with AEW predictions. But I want to say something really quick about WWE. It is very hard to get behind these current guys. It's hard to get behind. I mean, you want to get behind them, but you just don't have the care or the energy to do so. The Fiend, like, I was a huge mark for the Fiend. I love the persona, I love the character, I love the horror aspect of him. He looked like a guy that was straight out of the movies, like some 80s horror flick. Like a Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, I was a sucker for that character. And I even said that I think he is the best character wrestler, whatever you want to call it, in today's wrestling. He's the coolest thing right now in wrestling. And came Hell in a Cell. He was almost dead, but not quite. And in Saudi Arabia,
Who did he win the title against? Was it Rollins?
it was Rollins, yeah. So he wins the title against Rollins, which he didn't really need it, but I thought, okay, it's kind of cool.
Could I tell you something? WWE was pushed into a corner with that matchup. First of all,
yeah,
you knew that. We knew that. We all knew that he was pushed into a corner. They were pushed into a corner with this when they first set this one up. Look at Rollins now. Look at the Fiend now. The Fiend has gotten more over than Rollins has ever did.
Yes, that's true.
And on top of that, how long did the Fiend hold the title for?
Let me think. He won that title in October, so 4 months.
When he was Bray Wyatt as Bray Wyatt, how long did he hold that title for?
A month and a half.
So it's getting progressively better with him, if you do not say so myself.
Yeah, I mean, true to a certain extent, but he really needs a win at WrestleMania first.
Plus, on top of all this, do you know who you should thank for him to having this gimmick?
He's probably the one that came up with it.
But do you know who kicked his ass to getting to that point?
Who?
Matthew Hardy.
Oh, well, yeah, when they were a thing back then.
Because he was a Woken Hardy.
Yeah.
With a semi-broken Bray Wyatt. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. But no, my point is, I mean, I know my cousin Josh has said this as well. Uh, it is so hard to get behind guys like Seth Rollins. Now, guys like The Fiend. It's almost like, they get to the point to where they're so hot and you get behind them and they do one stupid thing and just like that, everything is gone. While like in NXT or AEW, like in NXT, I can get behind the Undisputed Era. I can get behind Velveteen Dream. I can get behind Gargano, Ciampa, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, who I love in the women's division. AEW,
or even Io Shirai.
Io Shirai. I mean,
The best heel that they got in NXT right now is Io Shirai.
or AEW like Omega, Page, who's been getting really over with his drunk gimmick and drinking alcohol and beer, which is great. Chris Jericho,
Do you know who they remind me of?
Omega and Page.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you say Goku and Vegeta?
Do you know who else they remind me of?
Who else?
Beer, money.
Oh, well, one's an alcoholic, the other one isn't.
Well, one of them is from the city, the other one is from the country.
Right.
And one of them drinks, and then the other one's like a businessman.
But no, I mean, I mentioned the guys again: Omega, Page, the Young Bucks, Jericho, Moxley. I know in the women's division it is kind of hard to get behind some of the women there.
Only person that I could get behind, to what she should not be in AEW to begin with, and that is Dr. Britt Baker. That's the only person that I like in that company.
I think over time, I think Nyla Rose will get over if they book her to just be like this unstoppable competitor that just mows down everyone. If they gave her the Goldberg treatment where she's like unstoppable, she can get over like that.
But who do you think could take off the title from her?
I mean, hey, you know what? You texted me about Big Swole versus Bianca Belair like a dream match. You know what? I wouldn't mind if it was Big Swole. She's really good. I like her a lot.
But who do you think could take the title off of Nyla Rose at this point?
Who?
Awesome Kong.
True, but she's off doing Glow now, a new series. I think it's on Netflix. I forgot where you can watch it off.
Do you know who she aligned herself with?
Nyla Rose?
No. Awesome Kong.
Oh, she was with Brandy Rhodes.
Yep.
Yeah, well, the Nightmare Collective is no more, which I think that's a big plus in my opinion.
When did they stop doing the Nightmare Collective?
Well, Brandy had mentioned it in an interview saying that it was no more. I guess it was just a case of, it wasn't getting over very well. People were not liking it, and how ironic is it that they listened to the people and they must have came to the senses that, you know what, this is not working, we're gonna drop it. But if it was WWE, they'd be like, oh, let's keep running with it, so I can at least respect.
Just like how Stardust was supposed to be only like a 1 or 2 month deal.
Yeah.
But WWE made it last for a year or two, I think.
Yeah. But no, I give respect for AEW for not just listening, but knowing that, hey, when it's not working, we have to drop it and just go about doing something else. I mean, there's many ideas they can come up with. And the Nightmare Collective, I mean, yeah, they tried, it didn't work, and they said, you know what? If the fans don't like it, then let's try something else. So I can at least respect them for that. And actually,
even Brandy Rose herself said that this may be a temporary thing, like one of the interviews like she did, or an online questionnaire type deal, that this was supposed to be like a temporary deal anyway. It was all a matter of like how long it was going to be lasting for, because that's the reason why she split off from Cody. And now look at them now; they're back together again.
Yeah, no, yeah. That started with the 10 lashes, which that was an awesome segment. That was really great, really well done. Classic old school heel. Just oh my god, that was great. That was really great.
And that kind of reminded me of Passion of the Christ. If any one of you guys saw that movie,
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, well, let me say this really quick. AEW has gotten a, more better and better, and they really seem to really be listening. I actually was watching AEW just after I got off of work. I really loved that Iron Man match. I thought that was kick ass. Um,
what I noticed last week, they did less picture to picture.
there was very few picture to picture from what I counted. Yeah,
Maybe one or two at best. Like if it was actually competing with NXT for that week.
yeah.
But this week they were heavily on the freaking picture to picture again. I'm like, why? The only matchup I could see with the picture to picture would have been the 30-man Iron Man match. But why throughout the whole show? Is
Yeah,
it because they need more advertisement and need more funds for this shit? Is that the reason why they do picture to picture?
maybe. I mean, I don't have the exact answer.
If if they stop with the picture to picture, I think the ratings will go a little bit low.
Yeah, but let's wrap this up really quick here before we go to the predictions here. So overall score of uh Super Showdown. This show sucked. What score would you give it?
6.
I give it a 4. I give it the Bret Hart 4 out of 10. Like I said, it was pretty much a bore. I mean, yeah, you had matches that were fine, but kind of boring. You had the one good tag team match and then the other tag team match, but that main event, boy, did that left a sour, rotten taste.
Let's just say if the main event didn't end like that, what rating would you give this show?
Even though it was still a bore for the most part, but with that ending, if it would have been the Fiend winning, I probably would have given it a 5.
This is to you, then that would have been the worst Saudi Arabia show ever.
I mean, no, I mean, as of this moment, this is the worst WWE pay per view, and we're not even the month of March yet.
Well, blame Vince McMahon still. He
Yeah,
can't do shit for shit.
and so that wraps up the review. So we're gonna jump into the AEW Revolution predictions, but I want to say something really quick here before we jump into the predictions. It is sad, at least in my opinion. It's sad how Raw gets 2 million viewers a week. SmackDown gets about what, maybe 2.5. And then here you have NXT, and I say this all the time. Wednesday nights is the place to be for NXT and AEW. The problem is NXT gets about what, 700,000 viewers to AEW's 800,000, 850,000. What I would love to see is a reverse number. I know this sounds bad in a
I
way.
think it happened once. It was during the holiday season that the numbers reversed.
I know you. No, I don't think it didn't. But no, what I was gonna
I
say
think
was
I think it did. It was because AEW did not air its show on
on Christmas
Christmas.
Eve or Christmas Day, whatever it was.
Yeah,
But no,
it
anyway,
was
like
NX, it was NXT that did their deal
yeah,
on Christmas, and guess what? What does that make AEW a sissy show that they can't even work on a holiday? While NXT you can.
Well, hey, I pay a lot of respect for companies that have Christmas Eve or Christmas Day off. Not a lot of wrestling companies do that.
But why AEW? Why not
Well,
NXT?
spend time with family.
What? Spend time with family. Well, it's like you could pay them extra money for making them work that holiday.
I mean, hell, I remember. Well, no, I mean, well, first of all, I think Christmas Day should be the day where you spend time with family, not working. I can remember when Monday Night Raw was actually going to be legit live at the All-State Arena on Christmas Day. And uh
I think it did.
no, it was, but I would never have gone to that show. My mom would have never allowed me because my mom is, for the most part, all about the family on Christmas Day. So if I would have went to wrestling on Christmas Day, my ass probably would have gotten kicked.
Can I tell you something?
What's
I
that?
even I even suggested to my best friend, who I've actually adored going to wrestling events with. I even suggested, "Hey, bud, do you want to go to Raw on Christmas Day?" You know what he was thinking?
He was thinking about going.
No, he was actually thinking about not going, but he was just wondering who in their right mind would place a wrestling show on a holiday and people still work.
Yeah, I mean it.
If, let's just say, you get paid double, like let's just say the concession stands,
Yeah,
if they get paid per hour, $15 per hour, let's just say, why not pay them 30 per hour? So that's 3 hours right there. That's $90 in their pocket.
yeah,
And plus, let's just say for the wrestlers, let's just say they get paid $500,000 easily on a normal day. Why not pay them the full million just for the holidays?
Well, I mean, I'm sure most of those wrestlers would want to spend time with their family than the money. I mean, sure, maybe some of them are about the money, but I'm sure most of them, they want to spend time with their family. They want to see the people that they haven't seen in a while.
Well, they can still see them,
Yeah,
not
true.
often, but
But
not.
no, I wanted to go back to the ratings for a second. I would love to see one. I know it's never gonna happen, but it would be a story to tell. I would love to see Raw get like 900,000 viewers, SmackDown get 900,000 viewers, and both NXT and AEW both get like 3 million viewers for a combined total of 6 million viewers. I would I would be doing backflips all around this world if that happened. I'd be like, oh my God, it's the 90s again when it was WWF and WCW, but that's never going to happen. I think those days are
Uh,
long over.
with that, it's going to be a long shot. But if they do that, where it's Raw with those low ratings, SmackDown with those low ratings, but NXT and AEW with those high ratings, guess what? Then therefore and thusly, then they have to do some major rehaul on their promotion and do something about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, would it be cool? It absolutely would be cool, but it's never going to happen. It would
True.
have it would have to take some sort of catastrophe to happen on both Raw and SmackDown. But I digress. Let's wrap this show up with AEW Revolution predictions. First time ever. Oh wait a second. Before we do this, actually, we got to do the count. Actually, I almost jumped ahead here. So let's do the count really quick here. So the OC versus the Viking Raiders. You said the OC, I said the Raiders. The OC won. You get the point 1-0. The Gauntlet match. We both said AJ and The Undertaker won. Coat had an all. So we don't get the point. Score still 1-0. Miz and Morrison versus the New Day. We both said Miz and Morrison. Miz and Morrison did in fact win. Uh, Scores now 2-1. Garza against Carrillo. We both went for Garza. He in fact won 3-2. Murphy, Rollins, Street Profits. We both said Rollins and Murphy. They won 4-3. Mansoor against Ziggler. This was an easy one. We both picked for Mansoor. Mansoor did indeed win 5-4. Lesnar, Ricochet. This was an easy night for Lesnar, who we both said Lesnar for 6-5. Reigns versus Corbin. We said it straight through. Reigns. We both get the point 7-6. Bailey, Naomi. We both picked Bailey for the win. She did indeed win 8-7. And then in the main event, Goldberg versus The Fiend. We both thought The Fiend would win, but Goldberg ended up winning. Thus, no point for either of us. However, in the bonus point, I said during the Goldberg versus The Fiend match, how long does the match go for? And whoever comes closest to the actual time of the match will receive the bonus point. I said 5 minutes. You said 12 minutes. I clocked it in at 2 minutes and 58 seconds, 3 minutes if you want to round it up. So I get the bonus point by being off by only 2 minutes. So thus, the final score is me 8, you 8. Thus, we have hit our first Cats game. So
technically, I won the main card.
Pretty much.
But you won the bonus point.
Yes, the bonus point is what saved my ass. So I go 4-0-1, you go 0-4-1. Cats game wins WWE Super Showdown. And I hope the cat eats this show alive for its meal tonight, because it deserves to be eaten and forgotten.
Well, I could go the alpha male route and say the Lions.
Yeah. Lions or cats? Let's feed it to the lions. Feed it to the tigers. Feed it to whatever cat you want.
Because that's pretty much their cats in Saudi Arabia.
Yep, exactly. All right. AEW Revolution predictions. First time ever we're doing these predictions here, actually. And I know you're not going to see the show. I'm going to be live and in person for this show. And then next week, Friday, while we're doing our predictions for Elimination Chamber, I'm just going to go through the card really quick of what I thought of each match and then give a final score overall. We've got 7 matches here. I don't think there is no pre-show matches. There might be a pre-show match, but there is no pre-show matches announced
I don't think AEW does pre-shows.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay. So I'm just going off what I'm seeing right here on the match card, going from the bottom to the top. We got Pac versus Orange Cassidy. Oh, I am so looking forward to this match. But yeah, who do you think wins? You still with me? Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay.
Technical difficulties, guys.
Yep. Sorry. I thought I lost my partner in crime here. But Pac against Orange Cassidy. Who do you think wins?
Pac.
I love Orange Cassidy. Like he's my guy. But I'm gonna go with Pac. Figuring he lost the Iron Man match this past Wednesday, I figure he's got to get a win here. So I'm gonna go with Pac. Up next, Nyla Rose defends her AEW Women's Championship against Chris Statlander. Who do you think wins?
even though I want Chris Statlander to win, because I think she deserves it. Because if she does win, then it could be Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander. I hate to say this, but it has to be Nyla Rose.
It's gotta be Nyla Rose. She just recently won the title, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. So I'm picking.
But then who's gonna take it off of her?
Like I said, I like Big Swole. I can see Big Swole being the one, and she's good. I really like. I'm a fan of Big Swole, but I'm going Nyla Rose for the successful title defend win. Up next, I'm actually looking forward to this match here. Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara.
Since Darby Allin got mostly his ass kicked this past Wednesday, usually when they do shit like that, the person does win at the end. And I'm picking Darby Allin, especially coming after his his neck injury,
Yeah.
more or less. I'm picking Darby Allin.
This match should be good, and Darby Allin, I really like Darby Allin, so I'm gonna pick Darby Allin for this one. Up next, surprisingly making his AEW in-ring debut, Jake Hager versus Dustin Rhodes.
This match could go either way, but to do the early prediction for this one, I was predicting that Jake Hager would ultimately lose his very first matchup just to make Dustin Rhodes happy, since he was the one that said that you're a failure at this, you're a failure at that, you're a failure at this. And I think out of all the inner circle, I think I'm jumping the gun with this. It should be Chris Jericho to win it, but I digress. I'm picking Dustin Rhodes.
Ooh, all right. I'm gonna go with Jake Hager. I don't see the reason for Rhodes to win. Like, I like Dustin Rhodes, but I think with the few wins that he has under his belt now, I just think they're building him up to eat the fall to Jake Hager. So I'm gonna go with Hager. Up next, Kenny Omega and Adam Page, the Goku, Vegeta, or who else did you said?
Beer Money.
Beer Money versus the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team Championship. Who do you think wins?
This match could go either way with these two. Or four, rather.
Yeah.
Page and Omega turns on the Elite.
Ooh, so you think it's going to be Omega that turns on the Elite, not Page?
Well, Page doesn't really turn on the Elite.
Well, yeah, he already did, yeah. So you think Omega's going to turn on Page?
No, he's going to turn on the Elite.
Oh, just the Elite as a whole.
Meaning he's going to beat down on the Young Bucks.
So who do you got for the win here?
Page and Omega.
And Omega, okay. But ultimately, in the end, Omega will be the one to turn on the Elites.
Correct.
Okay. Tough call here. I'm gonna go with Omega and Page. I don't see, in my opinion, I think if Omega and Page are gonna lose, I think it's gonna be on a regular TV AEW match. I don't see it being on a pay-per-view match. I don't see it. Up next, probably the hottest storyline right now in AEW, MJF with Wardlow versus Cody with Arn Anderson. Who do you think wins?
Cody.
I figure Cody lost at Full Gear. I figure he's got to at least get a win. So I'm going to go with Cody as well. And then finally, the main event, the Le Champion, Chris Jericho versus the challenger, Jon Moxley, for the AEW World Championship.
This match could go ultimately either way as well. If Moxley wins, who's his number one contender?
Oh God, I haven't checked the rankings as of lately. Actually, hang on, let's do that really quick. Let's see, AEW rankings.
We'll go based upon the rankings, you know.
Yeah, AEW rankings. Um, official ranks. So Omega's number 2, Pac is number 3, Cody's number 4. But remember, Cody can't go after the title, and MJF is at number 5.
Where's Cody at?
He's number 4, but once again, he can't go after the title because of the stipulation.
As long as Chris Jericho's holding the title, Cody cannot get the title.
No, I think the stipulation was he could never compete for the title.
Who's number 2?
Omega,
Who's number 1?
Moxley. So basically, I think Omega would just get moved to the number 1 spot practically.
Based upon that storyline, I'm saying Moxley loses and Chris Jericho wins.
Ooh, so you think Jericho wins?
Unless if Omega turns on the Young Bucks at Revolution and he turns heel, then I could pick Moxley.
I know I feel you. I'll give my answer here. This can go either way. Like I love Jericho's run as champion, but I just feel like with because Moxley's on fire right now. He's really over with the crowd, and I just feel like you got to strike when the iron is hot. And I'm not saying it would be a missed opportunity, or well, it would be a missed opportunity to a certain extent, but I just feel like they would
let's
miss.
just say if Moxley ultimately loses to Chris Jericho, he's done with AEW.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
They are already predicting that he will come back to WWE sometime in the mid of this year or late this year and goes for the title.
I just don't see it. And seeing that Moxley has been getting beat down by the inner circle, I'm almost in belief that Moxley wins. I'm sure the inner circle is going to get involved. They're going to try their best to not have Moxley win, but I think ultimately in the end he overcomes the odds and Moxley wins and becomes the second AEW champion. So my official answer is Jon Moxley.
Since I really didn't say who was going to win or lose, because I'm still thinking, you know this, right?
Yeah.
Between Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, do you think that would be a good sell?
I think it would be a good sell.
Or do you think this will be even a better sell? Jon Moxley versus Omega.
Well, I mean, a lot of people are not huge fans of the death matches like what they had at Full Gear. I mean, I'm a sucker for them, but you know what? If they wanted to rekindle their feud, Omega and Moxley, I'd be down for that. Although with Lance Archer coming into AEW, if they build him up, maybe not super quick, but if they make him like a dominant big man competitor, maybe not at Double or Nothing, but maybe at All In or All Out. Um, we could maybe have an Lance Archer and Jon Moxley. So figure, we could figure Moxley wins. You could have Omega against Moxley at Double or Nothing. And then if they build Lance Archer up, he's undefeated by All Out. You could do Lance Archer versus John Moxley. And just to add a little specialness to it, you can make it into a street fight match and just let them go all out. There you go. There you go. I just set it up for you.
John Moxley. Final answer.
Final answer? All right. So from bottom to top, Pac against Cassidy. We both said Pac. Rose against Chris. We both said Rose. Allen against Guevara. We both picked Allen. Rhodes and Hager. You went with Rhodes. I went with Hager. The Omega and Page and the Young Bucks. We both picked Omega and Page. MJF and Cody. Cody, we both picked for him. Jericho and Moxley, we both went for Moxley. And that basically wraps up this podcast. We went from a kind of a rant with the whole main event ordeal.
I have $1 million question. Is Revolution tomorrow?
It is indeed tomorrow.
Well, I have a little funny story to tell you.
What's that?
I saw Orange Cassidy and Britt Baker today.
No way.
Way.
Okay, where? At your local Jewel?
No. I wasn't working today, so
Oh,
no.
okay.
At C2E2.
Oh yeah, those conventions are now coming around the corner.
And since AEW is for this weekend, that's another reason why C2E2 ended up being on this weekend as well, was because they were trying to promote AEW. Because I ended up getting a bag that says AEW Dynamite on the bag. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why AEW? But then I had to remind myself that, oh, yeah, they are coming to Chicago for Revolution, so they have to promote it somehow.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about taking a picture with Britt Baker, but I was way too afraid to, saying, should I? But you know how that goes, where a bigger celebrity that most people are at those conventions walks by in front of you and you just stop cold. But I legit saw Britt Baker and Orange Cassidy, and do you know what I should have said?
What?
Adam Cole, baby! If I would have said that, do you think she would have turned around?
I bet she would have acknowledged it.
Because I know that they're boyfriend-girlfriend in real life.
Right.
But that was freaking freaky as shit that I saw those two.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Britt Baker, I think she is improving. Like, she seems to be finding the right path and what her character wants to go down in. And Orange Cassidy, like, he just stands there and just gets a big reaction. I love that guy. He is great. And actually, I don't know if it already passed or not, but he's supposed to be facing Minoru Suzuki very soon from New Japan. And I actually want to see that match, but I don't know when it airs or if it already passed. So I'll see my cousin tomorrow for Revolution. So I'm sure he can give you the details on when the match is going to happen.
Right.
But yes, this wraps up tonight's podcast here. And I would like to thank everyone for joining in and taking the time to listen to our review and our predictions for AEW Revolution. As always, please subscribe, hit the notification button so that way you know when the next episode is going to air. And I guess speaking of next time, it will be next week, which is going to kind of be a big one. We're going to give our predictions for the Elimination Chamber. I'm going to give just a very quick rundown of the AEW Revolution show. Once again, it's going to be a very quick rundown. And the main event of that show will be the online dating of that episode. It's gonna be a good one, especially with online dating, especially like stories that we've heard, that the goods and the bads about it. So I'm looking forward to next week Friday's episode of that edition of the podcast. It's gonna be a good one.
Fair enough.
And till then, I am Matthew Sonic Mix alongside my co-host, my partner in crime.
Tony Trent.
And we'll be leaving links in the description box down below with our respective Twitter accounts. You can find all the information in the description box down below, like I said before. But I'm Matthew, he's Tony. That about wraps things up here. I want to say to everybody, have a good morning, good afternoon, good night, however you are listening to this, wherever you're listening to this. And we will see you next week, Friday, on another edition of the Let's Talk Anything podcast.
Bang, bang. Have a nice day.
Bang, bang, indeed. Have a good night, everyone.